Next on the news. Following in the footsteps of their ancestors, thousands packed the Co-Cathedral of Saint Joseph for a Marian devotion that dates back centuries.
An ancient tradition moves through the streets of the Diocese of Brooklyn. And this year, more parishes than ever before are celebrating the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe. I'm Jessica Easthope. That story's ahead.
It's winding down, but the number of migrants arriving at the border is speeding up. Will Title 42 become a policy of the past? Plus, a Christmas controversy.
Dedham is a town that claims it's inclusive, and I just thought this was a very exclusive change that was not discussed.
A public library's decision to not trim a tree, all because it made some people uncomfortable. Current News starts right now. The beat of ancient instruments sets the pace for a relay of runners gripping torches, a tradition nearly 500 years old. Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti. It's an energy hard to match. More than 3,000 Catholics piling into the Co-Cathedral of Saint Joseph to celebrate Our Lady of Guadalupe, the vision responsible for transforming a nation, converting Mexico from paganism to Christianity almost overnight. Current News' Jessica Easthope tells us that faith, that fire, is still burning on the streets of New York.
We're now on our way. It's a walk that could take hours. This group is moving from the Co-Cathedral of Saint Joseph in Prospect Heights to St. Michael's in Flushing. But they say Mary leads the way, and this flame and their faith keep them warm. Long before the flame touches it, Henry Garon's torch is lit. His passionate devotion to Our Lady of Guadalupe burns. Henry is one of 44 torch runners, bringing the light of Christ and mystery of Our Lady of Guadalupe back to their parishes across the Diocese of Brooklyn.
It's very important to us. It's very cultural and very religious devotion that we have. It's here and in Mexico. It's something that we've been taught from very little. And we're honestly, now that I'm a torch runner, it's an honor.
He's running his torch to presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary in Jamaica, Queens for the first time.
No, it's not about the miles. It's more about the journey. It's very fun. It's very, it feels very close with the community.
Thousands of parishioners, mostly Mexicans, packed the Co-Cathedral for a Spanish Mass, kicked off with a display of heritage. Bishop Robert Brennan said just like Juan Diego spread the word of Our Lady through the streets of Mexico, so do Catholics today in the Diocese of Brooklyn.
It was the apparition of Mary to Juan Diego that brought the faith to Mexico. And now many of the people from Mexico and from other Latin American countries are coming here, bringing about a renewal of faith.
And just as the torches illuminate the streets, the light of Christ enters into the homes and hearts of the faithful.
Also, the candle is very important for us because it symbolizes the presence of Jesus in our parishes and our families.
It's a long journey, but the torch runners say it's worth it because it's a way of evangelizing. People stop them along the way and ask what's going on, and that keeps the message and a devotion to Our Lady of Guadalupe going 500 years after it began. In Prospect Heights, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
But how did this great tradition begin? The Virgin of Guadalupe, like the Shroud of Turin, actually appeared on a piece of fabric. It was 1531 when she first appeared on a hill in Mexico. A peasant, Juan Diego, saw her there. She identified herself and asked him to build her a shrine. Juan Diego ran to the Archbishop of what is now Mexico City, but he dismissed Diego, demanding proof. So Diego returned to the hill and encountered Our Lady again. She told him to go to the top and pick some flowers to bring to the Archbishop. When he got there, he found Castilian roses, and they're not native to Mexico. But even more significant than that, his cloak, his tilma, was miraculously imprinted with a colorful image of the Virgin herself. All these years later, it remains the most sacred object in all of Mexico. Speaking of Mexico City, here's a look at celebrations at the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe. That's where Juan Diego's tilma is. More than 4 million people are expected to make a pilgrimage there, and it looks like crowds are already bigger than last year. COVID restrictions have curtailed the number of visitors since 2020. The thousands of torch runners symbolize just how fast the good news of that apparition spread and how it continues to do so all these centuries later. Let's take a look at exactly where the runners in Brooklyn and Queens are heading tonight. More than 44 parishes are participating. That's the largest number yet. As you can see, the people traveled to the corners of the diocese from Coney Island to deep downtown Flushing, spreading the light of Christ. For some, it takes hours. They won't reach their destinations until well after sunset. For many, that torch is a torch of hope, one that burns far from home. The devotion to Our Lady emboldens immigrants in their struggle to provide for their families and create lives with dignity. That reason is why so many risk it all to come to the United States. At this moment, thousands of people are waiting in Mexican border cities for an opportunity to ask for asylum. And in just days, there could be a sudden surge as Title 42 comes to a close. David Culver has the story.
We start early, only to realize they are already on the move. From the Mexican side of the border, we watch these migrant families nearing closer to their final destination, or so they hope.
You can see these folks have already gone across the river. Technically, they're already in the U.S. They'll continue along the wall here till they get an entrance where they'll likely be detained and start their process in entering the U.S.
We continue further down along the Rio Grande and find this Camp City. It sits in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, opposite El Paso, Texas.
Vamos a intentarlo por segunda vez.
La segunda vez, this is the second time.
Joribel, her husband, and their 5-year-old son motivated to try again after learning this week a U.S. federal judge struck down what's called Title 42. The Trump-era policy allows border agents to turn away migrants crossing illegally, all in the name of COVID prevention. Since it took effect in March 2020, there have been nearly 2.5 million expulsions, most under the Biden administration.
What do you know of Title 42?
Supuestamente hace 2 días lo quitaron. Eso fue lo que se dijo aquí.
He said 2 days ago they heard that they got rid of it.
Not exactly. The order remains in effect until December 21st.
Are you scared?
Un poco. Siempre está la duda porque no sabemos qué es lo que pueda pasar, pero...
He said he's a little scared. It's always hard because you don't know what's going to happen.
After a tearful hug with a friend, they cautiously inch closer. Dozens do the same over the course of just a few hours. Back at the crossing site, this man's mother crying over FaceTime, not knowing the next time she'll see his face. Others forge ahead, a seemingly endless stream, one that continues uphill.
That was David Culver reporting. More than a dozen states have asked the court to let them intervene in the case so they can defend Title 42. Last night alone, Texas had more than 2,600 migrants cross into El Paso. That's one of the largest single crossings the state has ever seen. Now to a developing story one scientists have had their eyes on for decades. They're calling it the Holy Grail. The U.S. Department of Energy is reportedly set to announce researchers have produced the first ever nuclear fusion reaction, resulting in a net energy gain. Well, what does that mean? That means the reaction creates more energy than it uses. So what does that mean? The implication is a potentially infinite source of clean energy that could stop dependence on fossil fuels and possibly save our planet. One of the worst pollutants, plane exhaust. But this holiday season, there might not be that much traffic, not because of the environment, but because trips just keep getting canceled. Between COVID, RSV, winter storms, and fuel shortages, airports are desperately trying to calibrate the right scheduling balance. Karen Kaifa has tips to keep your flight on track.
You may be dreaming of a white Christmas, but for the millions of Americans taking to the skies this holiday season, snow in the forecast could turn that dream into a nightmare.
Weather changes everything, so that's really going to be the killer.
Experts say a little preparation can go a long way. Clint Henderson, managing editor of The Point Sky, says knowledge is power when hitting the friendly skies.
Know what other airlines fly the route that you want to fly. If things go sideways, you're able to rebook yourself.
He recommends downloading the airline's app and following them on social media to get the latest updates on any delays, cancellations, or system meltdowns that can cripple air traffic. And avoid potential catastrophe by booking direct flights. Plan for a hotel stay if you get stranded, and keep a flexible itinerary. If your plans do go awry, be your own best advocate.
If your flight gets canceled, you really want to be the first one who gets a hold of customer service to get rebooked on one of those few seats that are still available.
Airlines, too, may be more prepared for the holiday travel rush after last year's Christmas time COVID surge saw airlines crushed with staff shortages.
They are staffed somewhat better. They have reduced flights. So there's more give in the system. There's less likely to be a domino effect.
And to avoid additional angst at the airport, be sure to arrive early, avoid checking your bags, and take advantage of programs like TSA PreCheck or Clear to get through security with a little less stress.
Karen Kafa, Currents News.
There's a lot more news headed your way. That was last year's Spirit of Christmas concert. This year, it's set to be bigger and better. Famed tenor Christopher Macchio is here with us. Plus, lunching with a purpose. The annual Bishop's Christmas Luncheon, raising money for the kids. We'll tell you how. And instead of "Oh, Christmas tree," there's "No Christmas tree." Who's the Grinch that stole Christmas from this Massachusetts library? Coming soon to the Diocese of Brooklyn, a night of song, good cheer, and the Christmas spirit. That's what you can look forward to at Tuesday night's Futures in Education Spirit of Christmas concert. Joining us now is Monsignor Jamie Gigantiello, Vicar for Development in the Diocese of Brooklyn and Chairman of the Board of the Emmaus Center, and Christopher Macchio, famed tenor and recording artist who you just heard, who will be performing at the concert. Thanks so much for being here, both of you.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you.
So, Monsignor, I have to say this concert happens every year, but
Yes.
just because you went last year doesn't mean you skip it this year, right? What's different this year?
Well, I mean, it's different every year because we have different performers. Last year we had Matt Maher, who's a very, great Christian singer, and we had a lot of Christian songs and some Christmas songs. But I think this year Chris is going to be focusing on a lot of Christmas songs, and also he's a tenor. It's a different style, and every year is different and special because we need to get into this Christmas season in spirit every year.
Absolutely, and it's a great way to get into the spirit. And Chris, we've talked before. I know you've held so many concerts before, and you were just at the Emmaus Center recently. You were there last year for this concert. What makes this concert so special? Why are you back?
Well, I felt like a center like this could do even more and build upon the success that they had last year. So this year, we are very fortunate to have some Grammy Award-winning artists. We've got all the generations covered. We've got Al Jardine, a founding member of the Beach Boys, multiple Grammy Award winner. We have Peabo Bryson, who is also an ordained minister, incidentally. Won the 2 Grammys for those songs he did back in the 80s. Unbelievable artist. And then we have an upcoming young artist that was a finalist from American Idol, Haley Reinhart. And she's got millions and millions of streams every week. She's unbelievable talent. So that's for the younger crowd. So we've really got all the bases covered. And myself, I'm tying it all together. I've got that classical foundation, and I try to follow in the footsteps of Maestro Pavarotti and Andrea Bocelli. And so I think that we really have a very, very compelling program. We've got other artists involved as well, just as little sweeteners and special treats for the audience. So I think we've got a tremendous program in store for everybody.
Yeah, you've got all bases
That's
covered.
great.
I love it. And now everybody knows this concert benefits futures in education. But Monsignor, tell us, where exactly does the money go? Who gets helped by it?
Well, basically the students that qualify for a grant, a scholarship from Futures in Education, children that live under the poverty level, families, $30,000 or less a year. They desire to go to a Catholic school but are unable because of finances. Right. So we give them that opportunity, that choice to come to one of our schools. And the money that we raise goes directly to their tuition, for their tuition. It doesn't go to the school, it doesn't go, to administration. Okay. It goes directly for the student. And, during the Christmas season, it's a great time to, call up a student and say, you got an angel helping you this year. Yeah. And it's great also for all of our donors because they get to see, who they're helping. And it's a wonderful opportunity for people to give. It's also an opportunity for children to receive and families to receive a gift at Christmas time.
Any goal, any amount that you're looking to raise?
Well, no, we don't set a goal. We try our best to raise as much as we can. People make donations. That night they're asked to do something as well. So it's just a great opportunity. And so it's always, and it helps, everyone get in the Christmas spirit as well. Absolutely. But, it's great to know that we're helping during the season, too.
It's the season of
Yes.
giving, right?
Yes.
All right, we've been doing a lot of talking. How about we do some singing, not by me or you, Monsignor, but
You don't like my singing?
maybe after we finish this interview.
No, don't lie. You got to go to confession.
Chris, give us a little preview what people can expect if they come, and let's sell some tickets here.
Okay, here's a little something from O Holy Night.
The night divine, O holy night, O night divine.
Amazing.
Wow,
Amazing.
I have chills. That was amazing. I think we just sold a few tickets. I think it's sold out now, but definitely check on it. Christopher Macchio, Monsignor Jamie Gigantiello, thanks so much for being here, and good luck with the event.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic.
If you want to attend the concert tomorrow night, you can still get your hands on some tickets. Just visit futuresinEducation.org, or if you like to live on the wild side, you can buy them at the door Tuesday night. Ahead of the holiday season, Catholic education has already gotten a big boost thanks to the bishop's annual Christmas luncheon. Hundreds gathered at Russo's on the Bay to raise money so children can attend the best schools in the city, Catholic academies. Current News' Jessica Easthope has the story from Howard Beach.
She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus.
These kids are at the beginning of their faith formation.
In those days,
Their Catholic education wouldn't be possible without support and a mission to give everyone an opportunity. Because of events like the Bishop's annual Christmas luncheon, the Catholic Foundation of Brooklyn and Queens is able to give scholarships to 4,500 Catholic school students a year.
We can transmit the gift of faith to them. We do it by providing an excellent education, the tools for life, but it's in the context of that friendship with Jesus.
This year, Bishop James Massa was honored with the St. John Paul II Award for his work in education and vocations to the priesthood.
Currently, as a rector of a seminary, his teachings, his wisdom, and just his charisma continues to inspire young people.
The recipients of the Emma A. Daniels Award and Spirit of Hope Award were Frank DeRosa and the Fole, Quigley, and Kirby families, who each said Catholic education has played a significant role in their lives.
The responsibility to get kids to learn not only the ABCs, but elements of their faith. So important to have schools like this.
Catholic education is just so important for them to have the foundation to go forward in life and to remember what the really important thing is in life, which is not about the grades and not about the job, but it's about serving God.
More than 850 people attended the annual luncheon, hoping to continue to make a Catholic education accessible for students in Brooklyn and Queens.
No matter where they're from, what nationality they are, whatever they need, we are there for them, especially in Catholic education and forming young people to be the future of our church.
The Catholic Foundation's goal for this year's event is to raise more than $300,000 to go towards scholarships and youth ministry programs. In Howard Beach, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
What a great event. Haven't decided where you're going to donate yet this holiday season? Well, there's still time to help the Tablet fulfill their Bright Christmas mission and reach their goal. Let's take a look at how they're doing so far. The paper has already raised more than $58,000 for kids in need, but they're still a ways away from their goal of $125,000 before December 25th. The need is great this year because of inflation. It's the highest since the 1980s, and it's making things complicated for millions of middle-class families this year. Here's how you can get involved. Make a check out to the Bright Christmas Fund and mail it to Bright Christmas, LB number 2118, P.O. Box 95,000. That's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the zip code 19195. Or you can make your donation online at thetablet.org/brightchristmas. Still to come on Currents News.
Dedham is a town that claims it's inclusive, and I just thought this was a very exclusive change that was not discussed.
A Christmas controversy in a small town causing a big outcry from residents. And before the creche is complete, a blessing from Pope Francis. We'll show you. Do you have a story idea or want to share a tip? Email us at newstips@desalesmedia.org or call our 24-hour number, 718-517-3122. We'll be right back. You may have your Christmas creche ready, but was your infant blessed by Pope Francis? Some lucky people in St. Peter's Square got that special blessing by holding up baby Jesus on Sunday. The annual blessing of the Bambinelli began with Pope Paul VI back in 1969. The aim, to reinforce the birth of Christ as the true reason for the season. From a tradition celebrated to a tradition removed, a town in Massachusetts is apparently not feeling the festivities this year. A public library in a small town has a big mandate: no Christmas trees. Andy Madison has more on this Christmas controversy for Dedham.
This is one of several Christmas trees we found set up inside Dedham Town Hall. It's a scene you won't find inside the Dedham Public Library.
When I heard that it was a few town employees who made this decision, changing years of long-standing tradition, I was very upset at that.
Even though a wreath hangs on the front door of the Endicott branch of the public library and a tree is set up only a few feet away in a community garden, the library's branch manager says she was told she couldn't put up the Christmas tree. In a Facebook post, she said she was told that made people uncomfortable last year. She did not speak with us on camera, but patrons did.
Dedham is a town that claims it's inclusive, and I just thought this was a very exclusive change that was not discussed.
It is festive inside the library. Christmas decorations line the front desk, shelves, and are even in a display case. Screensavers on computers read Happy Holidays and show menorahs, dreidels, and presents. Some want the tree put back up.
I would like a Christmas tree. I think it's a great tradition.
I would like a Christmas tree with cat ornaments on it.
Others say this should not be an issue.
How can there be a controversy during Christmas in America about a Christmas tree when the world is crumbling around us?
Andy Madison, Currents News.
In a statement following the controversy, all the town of Dedham said was that it condemns the harassment and bullying of town employees. All right, let's get back in the spirit now. What better way than with food? Take a guess here. What Christmas treat would you say do New Yorkers like the most? Is it cookies, cinnamon rolls, or cheesecake? Well, this one might seem obvious. Ever have a New York cheesecake? That's the favorite over here, according to Wise Voter, a bipartisan educational platform. The results show a majority of U.S. states actually choose cheesecake as their top treat, followed by the sugar cookie. Hot chocolate also came in hot, well, steaming really. Most states put that sweet treat in their top 5. We will take them all. Thank you very much. And that is Currents News. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. We leave you tonight on your own torch journey. Here's another look at Our Lady of Guadalupe's celebrations. Let's keep that fire burning.